We are Southeastern 16, talking some SEC football today. 3 bold predictions for those Rebels of Ole Miss as what is expected to be a fun, exciting season for Ole Miss football. Lots of talent. They got a nice schedule. We'll give you some bold predictions for the Rebels in just a second. But first, let's tell you about our friends at BetOnline, the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything online sports betting. Right now, you can receive a 50% free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit to bet on anything from baseball to Formula One racing, just to name a couple. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, you can go to the online casino, get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or one of the over 150 slots games. Head over to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. That is promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV. Bet online, the game starts here. 3 bold predictions for the Ole Miss Rebels. Chris, I'll let you go first. What you got?
Well, I'm going to take Ole Miss getting to the SEC title game. And okay. I know that some of that schedule, I just think they're that good. I could argue that's, after Georgia, best team in the league, especially with Texas taking the C.J. Baxter hit. The more that I looked at this, and you know the maniacal prep we do on this, I don't like to speak in terms of comparisons until I've looked at everybody. Now that I looked at everybody, I love this team. They've got a little bit of everything everywhere. They've got a schedule that's conducive. Hey, I'm looking at times when Ole Miss could get beat. I think that game at LSU is that's never easy. Winning down there, that's going to be a night game. I think beating Oklahoma anywhere isn't going to be easy. You got the Georgia game. I don't care if that's in Oxford or if that's on the moon. That's not going to be easy. And even at Florida, but I like where that game is, Chase. Florida's got the toughest schedule in the history of mankind, and that is game 11 for the Gators. By that time, Billy Napier could be gone, or he could be, it could be melting down there. I like the team. I think the team is good enough to do it without a helping hand, but I think that schedule, and again, it's not easy, but I think that schedule really lends itself to the Rebels getting to Atlanta.
Yeah, I agree with you. I see them it being a definite possibility that they could get to Atlanta, play for the SEC championship. And I agree with that so much. I'm going to go a step further in my bold prediction, Chris. My bold prediction is they go undefeated. They make it to the SEC championship, but they beat Georgia and they go undefeated.
You got them beating Georgia and Oxford.
I do, yeah.
All right.
And,
CC Kirby Smart.
When we do these bold predictions, we could say that for any team. That's bold for any team to go undefeated. But for Ole Miss, yes, it's bold for them to go undefeated when you look at the schedule. But like you were saying, this team, there's something special about this team. I really feel that way. Jackson Dart, third-year starting quarterback. They got great guys around him. What they've done to the defense is outstanding. The players that they have, the pieces that they put in during the offseason. And so, yeah, that my bold prediction, they go undefeated.
Now, where are you most worried about that going wrong?
There's 2 games at LSU and Georgia.
Yeah.
The at LSU game, I think, concerns me more than the Georgia game because I feel like that's that part of that they're ready for that Georgia game. But going to Baton Rouge, and I'm not saying that they're just going to go out and blow Georgia out, but I feel like that LSU game is right there in the middle of the season, mid-October game. I feel like that's one of those that, because you're looking ahead to, we got Georgia in 3 weeks, we're trying to win the SEC. That's one of those you can go in and easily drop because that's a really good LSU team and it's on the road. So that game concerns me about Ole Miss, and obviously Georgia does as well, just because they're so good. But
the rest, before you go ahead, I'm sorry,
the rest of them I feel like are very winnable games for Ole Miss.
Do you know who LSU has the week before Ole Miss?
They're off.
Exactly. So that makes that one a little bit tougher. But hey, if this team is as good as we think it is, Ole Miss is capable of doing that anyway.
Yeah, but it's bold. It's bold to say they're going to go undefeated, but hey, that's what we're here for, to give you bold predictions.
That's right. They don't call them bold predictions for nothing. All right, this one that I'm going to give you, I think it's bold. Because I wonder if this has ever been done. Maybe that Mac Jones team that Alabama had in the COVID year 2020, where they just had receivers coming out their ears that played in the NFL later. But I'm going to go. Ole Miss doesn't have anybody to lead the conference in receiving yards, but it puts 3 guys in the top 10.
Okay. So what 3 guys would you say would be those as we're
Well,
sitting here in mid-August, early
here's
August?
the thing I like about this prediction is I've got a little bit of leeway here because I think it's probably Trey Harris, Jordan Watkins, and Juice Wells. But you know what else they've got? Caden Prieskorn.
That's right, the
So
tight end.
I don't know how often a tight end not named Brock Bowers finishes top 10 of receiving yards, but the thing I like about that prediction is I feel like it gives me a little built-in leeway. You know, if something were to happen again to Wells or somebody had a disappointing season. Like, I feel like Trey Harris he might lead the league in receiving yards, but I think the reason I wouldn't say it is because they gotta feed a lot of mouths here, man. They got other guys to throw the ball to. That's why I thought, I don't know how often a team can put 3 guys in the top 10 in yards. And I don't know that my bold pick would be putting any of these guys leading the league in receiving because of the dynamics. But hey, between that and the schedule, I feel like there's opportunity here.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I like this core of receivers. And I feel like Lane Kiffin in his offense, I think he's going to work the tight end in a lot this year just because he has a guy like Caden Prieskorn. You wouldn't always work the tight end in a lot, but I feel like when you have a guy like this, that's what you do. And Lane Kiffin can do that. He can incorporate others into this offense, and he's creative. And so I definitely think we'll see a lot of the tight end there. So it's bold, but I think that's a really good bold prediction because I think it's very realistic as well.
Well, and again, my hesitation is because of the schedule, they're going to be out in front of some of these games, but at the same time, Lane Kiffin's got a lot of play for, man. Because of the schedule, just playing devil's advocate here to everything we just said. If you win 10 games, you're probably in the playoff. But you say you lose to LSU and you lose to Georgia, not a lot of just marquee wins on that schedule. I mean, you got Oklahoma, you got some other teams. So he may be playing to say, hey, look, if things go wrong with the wins and losses or we're not sure, we're going to get some of these wins in a big fashion, blow teams out. And in that case, you're probably leaving those guys in a little bit longer.
Yeah, and yeah, I would agree with that, and that I think that will be kind of the only thing that keeps that from happening, or keeps some of these things from being reality for Ole Miss. But it should be a fun year for the Rebels, and we'll have you covered on Ole Miss football along with the rest of the SEC here on Southeastern 16. Subscribe to our channel, like this video. We keep you covered with all things SEC football. Also, basketball and baseball year-round as well. We have shows. We put out videos daily here on the channel. So subscribe, like this video. And if you want to sponsor our content, we'd love to talk to you about that. Caroline.smith at southeastern14.com is where you can shoot an email to inquire about that. We can begin those conversations. Again, that is caroline.smith at southeastern14.com. That'll do it for the bold predictions for Ole Miss. We've got them for we're working on videos for every team with bold predictions. So again, subscribe to our channel and check those out. We'll be back soon with more SEC football talk here on Southeastern 16.